X-Play, the center of the gaming universe.
Today on X-Play, we go hands-on with Burnout Paradise and put the pedal to the metal in our exclusive demo. Then, we take a look at what it's like to be a professional game tester. Plus, find out who's winning this weekend's playoff games with our Madden simulation. And we review Kingdom Under Fire, Circle of Doom. All that and more coming up on X-Play. It's game time.
Hello and welcome to X-Play, the center of the gaming universe. I'm Adam Sessler.
And I'm Morgan Webb, and we're coming to you from the G4 Studios in Los Angeles on Friday, January 18th.
On today's show, we'll show you why defensive driving is for pansies and aggressive collisions are the way to go in our exclusive demo of Burnout Paradise. That will give you a reason to start gambling again when we simulate this weekend's NFL playoff games and find out who's going to win.
Plus, we will meticulously level up in our review of Kingdom Under Fire, Circle of Doom, and you'll find out if it's worth the trouble. And in our new segment, Will Work for Games, we'll take you inside the gaming industry to see if your dream job of being a tester is really a nightmare. But first, let's go over to Adam for all of today's headlines in our gaming update.
Thank you, Morgan. Now, while we can't wait to get our hands on the updated remake of Bionic Commando, we have news of yet another game within the franchise that has us salivating. Bionic Commando Rearmed is a 2D remake of the original arcade classic. The game is currently being developed for both the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live Arcade. In addition to a graphics overhaul, the game promises an expanded arsenal of weapons, new bionic arm abilities, and best of all, a two-player co-op mode. The game's new trailer also reveals new boss battles and a chance to unlock content for the next-gen remakes. Now, a new rumor has surfaced regarding everyone's favorite PC system hog, Crysis. Gaming magazines and internet buzz are currently pointing all fingers in the direction of a PS3 port, dubbed Crysis 1.5. The PS3 version is rumored to include extras that weren't originally shipped with the PC version. Whether these extras turn out to be something useful, like vehicles that don't blow to pieces the minute you hop in, remains to be seen. Again, we've heard no official word of a port to the PS3 or the Xbox 360, but we will continue following this story as it develops. Halo 3 was officially 2007's best-selling game in the United States. Sales numbers confirmed that Bungie's Halo 3 sold through 4.82 million copies in 2007, despite being released in late September. Those are very impressive numbers for what was essentially a 3-month period. Following closely in second place was Nintendo's Wii Play, which sold through 4.12 million units. From billiards to table tennis, Wii Play's 9 addictive games and free Wii Remote proved to be a dominating combination. The total console sales for 2007 reached $17.94 billion and saw an amazing 43% increase over 2006. Let's see you top that 2008. That's all for today's gaming update. Be sure to visit us on the web at g4tv.com/xplay to continue getting all of today's up-to-the-minute video game news. Now let's go over to Morgan, who has something to share with us regarding random encounters and circles of doom.
Thanks, Adam. If you've been itching for
loot, we need to know where the goods are. That sounds like a rental at best, which is fine, because there's crap on TV these days, excluding us, of course.
Well, despite numerous consequences, the Hollywood writer's strike does have a few upsides. For instance, the shortest Golden Globes ceremony ever. Thank you, that was awesome. Now, the strike has also lured some big-name talent to write for video games. Even playwright-turned-screenwriter Tyler Perry wants in on the action.
She was a woman with everything. Until everything fell apart.
I'm saying it's over, Vanessa. Girl, are you crazy?
I know you ain't fighting in my house. Boy, you best take your hands off her before I stick a needle up your skinny little ass.
Tyler Perry's Halo Family Reunion.
I know she ain't staying up in here. She is family. Now, we might be hardened cybernetic super soldiers, but we still a family.
Roger Ebert calls it heartwarming.
Me say I'm sorry. You say you sorry.
You are the one who cheated on me. Medea, put that assault rifle away.
Oh, I'm just gonna wing them.
If you love Terms of Endearment and Full Metal Jacket, you'll love this film.
Well, that's wonderful. Hallelujah.
The Chicago Sun Video Game Review Digest calls it a triumph.
What am I going to do, Medea?
Child, you need to go see your mama. That's what I did when the Covenant invaded Earth.
Tyler Perry and Microsoft Entertainment proudly present the family event of the summer.
Some people are like plasma grenades. And when they stick to you, they don't let go. You find yourself some plasma grenades, and you hold on to them.
I love you, Medea.
I know, baby.
Because the greatest weapon in the war against alien invaders is love.
When I'm down, well, it's me up, yeah.
I don't met brute commanders with more sense than you. Lord Jesus.
Tyler Perry's Halo Family Reunion.
So, Medea, when you coming to church?
As soon as they get a smoking section.
Coming up on X-Play, learn what it takes to land your dream job in the gaming industry. Then, Jimmy the Greek's got nothing on us. Here are virtual predictions for this weekend's NFL playoff games. And later, we've got 2 tickets to Paradise. Burnout Paradise to be exact. Our hands-on demo is coming up later on X-Play.
The year's biggest movie.
Why is Xbox 360 outselling the PS3? I'll tell you why. Because it's cheaper, and people are stupid. They don't know about Blu-ray, and they don't know where the future's going.
Welcome back to X-Play, where everyone picks sides. Well, regular ice apparently a focus group of 1. I don't think
Sure
price
has an
makes
opinion.
much of a difference, really. I mean, you have
Yeah.
a $399 40 gig PS3, and you have a $349 Xbox 360. That's not much of a price difference right there.
Well, you know what? Top Tech doesn't always win the war. PS2 was not the top tech of the generation. It did very well.
Yes, exactly. Well, I guess I don't think Michael Pachter has to worry about his job in the future.
Well, the Xbox might be doing better at the moment. You know, 1 or 2 exclusive titles, everything could change. But thanks for the question. And, of course, now we have one for you.
Aha, yes. Now, do you think getting a job in the video game industry would be a dream come true? Well, before you tell your high school guidance counselor that there's no way in hell you'd be a systems analyst, you might want to check this out.
Time now to go inside some of the most coveted positions in the video game business, and our new segment, Will Work for Games. For X-Play's first career day, we decided to see what goes into the world of the game tester. Is it as rewarding and glorious as portrayed in that movie Grandma's Boy, or is it something else?
Many people, think that's so awesome. You get to play games all day. It must be so fun. The reality is it's really not. It's hard because it is repetitive. You do have to play the same missions constantly. I mean, it's really wearisome, but you have to stay focused. I've seen people just walk out because they just can't handle a certain mission. They can't handle a certain routine every day. That's what testing is. You play over and over and see what comes up, and when it comes up, you document it and just move on to the next step and repeat.
To say that game testing can get monotonous might be the understatement of the year, although the year just started.
I've worked over 16 hours, just playing through the game because, we were about to ship and we found a really bad crash bug that only happens on Legendary. So you would have to play through all the way to Legendary and test it, do it again, do it again. It felt unreal sometimes. I mean, it's just very tiring. And sometimes I really thought it was a dream. I'm like, I can't believe I'm here on a Sunday at like 6 o'clock and I'm gonna be working till 6 in the morning. It really takes a lot out of your life.
The main function of a game tester is to note any errors or bugs they find while playing through a game. Once the tester reports the bug, they then have to go back through the game to confirm the bug is gone. It's not easy. Game testing is serious, grueling business. So how about some advice for anybody wanting to get into the exciting world of game testing?
My best advice would be you have to have an eye for detail. You have to be able to, see faults in the game you play. You definitely have to have a passion for video games. You're not playing for fun. You're doing a job, helping stabilize a build, and you're going to be doing it every day, all day.
Coming up, don't call your bookie until you see our Madden NFL picks for this weekend's games. And later, we race for pink slips and demo Burnout Paradise. But first, let's see who's taking home virtual Super Bowl rings into the leaderboard for Madden 08.
Welcome back to X-Play. Grab your performance-enhancing drugs, pit bulls, and strip club funny money. It's football time. X-Play plugged this upcoming weekend's NFL playoff games into the top-secret X-Play computer program and came up with some very surprising results. And by surprising, we mean predictable. In the AFC title game, the San Diego Chargers head to Foxborough, Massachusetts to take on the mighty New England Patriots. Phillip Rivers will fold like a cheap suit under the intense playoff pressure and make Chargers fans wish they never traded Drew Brees or even Ryan Leaf. And once again, Tom Brady will lead a balanced Patriot offense and continue his reign as, quote, the person leading the most perfect life ever, end quote. 44-16 Patriots. Sorry, San Diego. That's the way it goes. At least you still have the zoo to keep you entertained. Please take into consideration the X-Play secret computers can't take into account New England's cheating. In the NFC game, the New York Football Giants and the last Manning standing Eli head to the cozy confines and warm weather of Green Bay to take on the legendary Green Bay Packers. Green Bay is led, of course, by the greatest human sports specimen of all time, the legendary Brett Favre. This game is all about Eli Manning, who will choke worse than Kobayashi in a hot dog eating contest. Green Bay 40, New York 24. Better luck next year, Giants. So X-Play predicts a Super Bowl of the Green Bay Brett Favres versus the New England Patriots. I am ready for some football. Sorry, New York, we like you, but Madden knows best.
But look at the bright side. When your season goes down in flames, you'll have plenty of time to rent some games and veg out.
Which brings us to today's X list and see what are the most popular rentals this week. At number 5, we got Altair and his Killer Creed, and no, we're not talking about the awful, awful band. Number 4 is the all-mine Frag Fest Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Number 3 is Devil May Cry 4, and number 2 is a game we're actually about to demo, Burnout Paradise. Now, both games aren't even out yet, so a lot of people out there evidently have them in their rental queues already. Or they have access to a time machine.
I think that's it. And the current champ of game rentals is Kingdom Under Fire Circle of Doom. The game might not break sales records, but that doesn't mean the fan base isn't interested.
When X-Play returns, we take you down to Paradise City for a hands-on demo of the racing game that encourages you to crash into your opponents. Burnout Paradise.
Welcome back to X-Play. Now, what happens when you combine insane racing and explosive crashes with a free-roaming environment? Well, you're about to find out when we go hands-on with Burnout Paradise.
Burnout debuted on the PS2 back in 2001, introducing over-the-top arcade-style racing to a market dominated by simulators like Gran Turismo. Several installments later, Burnout Paradise is set to drop on the PS3 and 360 with a kick-ass soundtrack, all-new open-world gameplay, beautiful next-gen graphics, and of course, carnage galore. Joining us today from Electronic Arts is Derek Anderson. Thank you for stopping by today.
Thank you.
Burnout, of course, has been incredibly successful for you guys, been very popular. What did you guys bring to this new version?
Well, the Criterion Game Studio that creates the Burnout franchise decided if they were going to build a truly next-gen game, a game on the PS3 system, they were going to make things different, give people an experience they'd never had before. So we have gone from kind of the track-based gameplay to a totally open world called Paradise City. And it's done the Burnout way. It's, you know, Burnout fans are going to love it, but also people that have never experienced it are going to get a great taste of what the Burnout franchise is all about.
And so just so people understand, you mentioned the PS3, but it is not exclusively on the PS3.
Exactly. We've got Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 hitting on the same day next week.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Showtime mode. Of course, what everybody loves about Burnout is the crashing.
Totally. So, again, we've reinvented what was known as crash mode in something we call Showtime. This is a mode that allows you to go into a crash at any point in gameplay. So you hit the L1 and R1 buttons on the PS3 controller or the bumper buttons on the Xbox 360, and you spin your car down the road using the boost to bounce off the ground, and it's basically like Katamari meets Madden, where you're trying to get as much destruction and go as far as you possibly can. I'm
actually impressed by the amount of destruction that his car is experiencing right now. I think looks like we're getting down to the frame.
Yeah, it's you know, we've really pushed the limits, especially from the PS2 system where we were before, as far as particle damage and things like that. So made some huge improvements there.
So let's talk a little bit about online play. It's become such an essential part of every gamer's experience at this point. How do you get people to join your races, and how, you know, what can you guys do when you're in the world together?
Well, the great thing about the Burnout Paradise is that we've created a seamless online experience. So by the click of a button, you hit the right on the D-pad 2 or 3 times, and boom, you're in online playing with your friends. You hit it one time, you see all your friends that are playing Burnout Paradise, and you can just immediately invite them into the game. Completely seamless, and you can do all sorts of things. You can race, you can set checkpoints, start and end points, so it's really completely up to you where you go to and from. And then we've got over 300 online cooperative challenges. So if you and your friends don't feel like racing, you just feel like hanging out, having a good time, messing around, you can go and do different challenges like drifting or hitting in midair off a jump and completing some of those.
So how many people can race together at the same time?
We've got up to 8 players online at the same time on both the 360 and the PS3 version.
So tell me about some of the other race types that we're going to be seeing.
So a couple of the new modes, the first of those is a mode called Stunt Run, and this is something that again, is totally new. It allows you to take the freedom of the open world, use your knowledge of the jumps, the billboards, and other different things you can crash through, doing 360s, doing barrel rolls, and you're basically going to get a score based on how good you are at owning Paradise City.
What are some of the differences between the 360 version and the PS3 version?
Well, as far as tech goes, they're both running at 60 frames a second in the open world. It's the first time it's ever been done in an open world racing game. 8 players online for both versions. With the PS3, you'll be able to use the 6-axis controller to either steer while you're driving, or also when you're in Showtime, you can bouncing off cars, you can go back and forth with the 6-axis. And then, of course, 360 has a great achievement points, but we've also...
People do love the achievement points. I'm going to actually have to cut you off there, but thank you so much for the demo. We cannot wait for the game's release on January 22nd. It's soon. Right now, let's head back on over to Adam.
A big thanks to Derek for stopping by. That's it for today's X-Play, but be sure to join us next week for all new episodes. That is every night in prime time at 8 p.m. And we got lots in store, including our review of Burnout Paradise.
We'll also review the latest surreal mind trip from Suda51, No More Heroes. And if your kill-death ratio in Call of Duty 4 is nothing to brag about, we'll have pro gamer tips from T-Squared. You'll be calling in choppers in no time.
Thanks for watching. Have a good week.